much better this time around than the last time they were ranked number one. They didn't lose the day they got the ranking like they did in 1983, but the question is, can they remain undefeated with Gonzaga coming to town? Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you, breaking down some of the best college basketball games each and every week here on CBSSports.com and all over the CBS Audience Network. This week, it's Steve Lappas joining us to break things down. And Steve, you saw Memphis and Tulsa on Wednesday, a game that was on CSTV. They didn't blow out Tulsa. What happened? What did you see in that game that was so different?
Well, they didn't play particularly well in this game, and Tulsa had a great plan. The plan was, we got to slow these guys down. And I don't know if Memphis was playing a little bit with the burden of now being just proclaimed the number one team in the country. They didn't have a great game. They didn't have a great game in the half court. And the big thing was they were not able to turn Tulsa over. And with Memphis is not turning you over, and they have to play in the half court, then Dorsey and Dozier have to get some things done in the half court. And neither guy had a great game. So I think that's why they struggled to really put Tulsa away till late.
But, Steve, they did hold them to 41 points, and overall they are a good defensive team, and they do turn a lot of teams over. Now turn that towards Gonzaga. How does that look when you break down this game as far as Memphis's defense, especially pressure defense?
Well, you call them a good defensive team. They're a great defensive team, and I think that's the thing. A lot of people are always trying to figure out ways to stop Memphis. I don't think it's about stopping Memphis. I think it's about figuring out how are you going to score against Memphis. Now, Gonzaga's the type of team, they average 75 a game. They're going to try and go at Memphis. They're going to want this game to go up and down. My opinion, I think Memphis is going to play great on Saturday. I said before the game yesterday that I thought they would struggle last night, but that on Saturday they're going to play great. And I really believe they're going to have a great game against Gonzaga. They can guard them. And the one thing about Memphis that's underrated a little bit is the size of their perimeter players defensively. Antonio Anderson, Derrick Rose, Chris Douglas-Roberts. Those are big, tall, muscular kids. And I think they're much bigger on the perimeter than Gonzaga's. I think they're going to give their Gonzaga's perimeter guys fits and not really allow them to score. And let's remember this. Tennessee's athleticism really bugged Gonzaga when they played, and Gonzaga still tried to go up and down. I think Memphis is very similar to Tennessee. I think they're going to give Gonzaga a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you told me when we were breaking this game down beforehand that you thought Gonzaga they're just not going to change their game plan going into Memphis, which would be the same situation, like you said, against Tennessee. So let me ask you this. Josh Heitfeld, he's in this game. He's undersized compared to a guy like Joey Dorsey. What kind of role does he have to have?
Well, he's got to play great, but the question is, are they going to be able to get him the ball with the intense pressure that they're going to be under from the Memphis perimeter players? Now, if Heitfeld can get the ball, that's a good sign. It means they're able to make some entry passes into the post. But then he's got to score over Joey Dorsey. Now, Joey Dorsey, again, didn't have a great game last night, but he did have 15 rebounds. So the one thing that Dorsey does is he will play defense and he will rebound the ball. So I just think they're not going to be able to get into the kind of flow that you have to get into to throw the ball inside on a regular basis.
Yeah, only one bucket in the game, but yeah, as you said, certainly did take advantage in other situations. It's only the second time Gonzaga is ever facing a number one ranked team. The other was against Kenyon Martin in Cincinnati in 1999. They didn't win that one. Do they win this one?
No, they don't win this one. I think this is going to be Memphis. As I said, Memphis is going to play really well on Saturday. The place is going to be packed. It's going to be the first home game where they're number one in the country. I think they got a lot of, not rust off last night, but a lot of that feeling that you get of excitement when you're number one. Now it's going to settle in, and I think Memphis plays very well this coming Saturday.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. If Memphis plays well and wins, of course, the Tigers will again be the number one team in the nation next week. The two tip it off at noon Eastern, and for more on this game or any other this coming weekend in college hoops, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com and watch everything else all over the CBS Audience Network. For Steve Lappas, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.